Steele's greetings, dear role players. I am Arthur Maxon, and I'd like to chat a moment if that's alright. A great sign of those seeking to escape scrutiny often comes in the form of petty insults at those they fear. They fear truce, and truce, dear role players, are what the Brotherhood deals in. For example, it has been said that I have ruined my own lands, when in fact, I inherited a nuclear-blasted wasteland from those in the past that shared the characteristics of my rivals. They made a wasteland of my realm when they were in power and paid the price for their cult of personalities and lofty promises. Here are the facts, dear role players, on the Brotherhood's accomplishments. Unity. I brought my broken chapter and reunited them with the Brotherhood Outcast, a division that some thought could never be reunited. I established ambassador scribes to the surrounding settlements to coordinate security from raiders, mutants, and pure water deliveries to safeguard the capital wasteland. Versatility. I took the scraps of a destroyed civilization and turned it into a bastion of prosperity and unity between the communities of the capital wasteland. I changed my own people's laws on technology to establish trade routes to share our technology and to spread our good work far and wide. We've taken blasted factories and returned them to functioning production centers, employing the local populace. Protectors. When a call for aid is passed to me, I send the full weight of the Brotherhood out to protect those that request it. We have defended settlements big and small from raiders, super mutants, and player killers alike. We help set up defenses to discourage the nefarious and to promote the rule of law. We arm and teach the locals so they can stand on their own and draw their own lines in the sand. Mediator. I speak to many local leaders and many despite desperate factions that work to comprise while never sacrificing our ideals, such as peace, as I broker between the regulators and the talent company, a feat some thought could never happen. I never interfere with local leaders, allowing them to remain autonomous, because I believe local leaders know how best to serve their community's needs. Humanitarian. When Project Purity went live, my predecessor saw fit to distribute pure, clean water to any and all free of charge. This was a policy I upheld and maintained to this day. More recently, we have started importing the Aqua Pura into the Commonwealth wasteland, sharing with blasted Boston the waters of life. To round out, dear role players, I was born into a world of massive problems and turned them into solutions, no matter how big the issue or cost. I have no time for pointless name-calling. When the lives of citizens and role players are on the line, I ask you again, does the dictator atop a despotic city really understand the common player? Does a queen, who has never wanted for anything, really know how to build bridges to desperate factions? Will you ever fit in to a warmonger's idea of the perfect society where you don't share the same roleplay ideas? And does a school teacher or her puppet mistress know how to defend you from a player-killer raid on your home turf? These are questions to muse on, dear role players. Until we speak again, Steel be with you. Brought to you by Citizen Steel from More Unified Tomorrow. I am Arthur Maxon, and I approve this message.
This is RPMMO Radio.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
A podcast all about role-playing and MMORPGs.
I like what you got. Good job!
With your hosts, Ashen Phoenix, Sid, Jazz, Strafe, and Kishmas.
Everybody off. We need to go on a quick adventure.
Hello, role players. Welcome to RP MMO Radio. This is our 63rd episode. All the drama with this llama. Appreciate everybody tuning in over at twitch.tv/RPMMO Radio. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Ashen Phoenix, and with me, as always, is Jazz, Sib, Strafe. How's it going, everybody?
Hello. It goes well, sir.
Welcome.
And, of course, our call screener, Rahanar, and moderator, Yunfei, in the chat, doing that thing that they do so well. Unfortunately, Kishmas isn't here at the moment. He got he's off crying. Something didn't go his way, and he threw a big fit about it, and he just kind of bitched off. It's just started bawling and just throwing accusations left and right. It was just sad, and disappointing, and he was riding the back of that drama llama, off into the sunset. It was the last we saw of him.
I hear he's still in halfling jail just because, I got sources.
Is that what you've heard? You know what? That's fake.
I mean,
news.
If you connect the dots back to the wolf
news.
incident and the dog's missing and the halfling children missing, somebody's getting eaten. I'm just saying.
I'm going to say I don't think anyone worries about the halfling children missing.
Well, at least not on this show.
They were last I heard they were actually still on the border in cages. Wait, different children. I confuse them. Also, to be honest, all children look the same. I mean, doesn't matter. They're all kind of goofy looking. Heads are too big. They're like bobbling around, tottering with those little chubby arms, going like this, just like. And I know going like this is great for radio. That everybody listening on the podcast, that was probably a really good visual image.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone doing good tonight?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, sir.
Minus one Kishmas, who hopefully will be around,
Kishmas.
but we got some exciting news tonight, and hopefully some funny stories as well. But we finally got that whole sticker thing that we've been talking about for about a year now, actually coming. So we'll go over all the details on how to sign up for that and do all the fun stuff. Before, of course, we do that, which will be tied in with this, I want to give a special thanks to all of our current Patreon donors. We appreciate every single one of you, especially those at the raid boss level, like the Truth Bob.
Woo!
As you will hear multiple times in this episode, because there will be new things that you can get through there. I've kind of redone the Patreon a little bit. You can go to patreon.com/RPMMO Radio to see that. Here, which I needed to bring up earlier, but I didn't because, why be prepared when you can do it live on air? So, little things like that. And as usual, of course, we are a podcast, Apple Podcast, Android podcast apps, Spotify, Podbean, anywhere free podcasts are sold. You can find us if you're listening to us live. If you are listening to us live, feel free to follow us on Twitch, and I think we're at 91 people. We're getting close to that 100 mark. So if you're listening on the podcast and you're like, hey, maybe one day I might actually be able to listen to it live and call in, which you can do at rpmradio.com/Discord. Jump in our caller waiting room. Which for tonight, if you've ever had a story involving a drama llama, somebody that just takes the smallest thing or something that doesn't go their way and just makes it a monumental fuckhill of drama for no damn reason other than, I guess, they're just having a bad day or their fish died and they're being pissy with everybody because of it. Because
I like how you made it a frack hill instead of a molehill. Nice touch there.
Yeah. It's don't Straffe.
What?
I'm a wordsmith. Okay. This is my trade. This is what you see those guys on that show where they're like always banging out really cool daggers and armor and swords and stuff. I do that verbally.
This is why you're our leader, boss.
That went a lot nicer than I thought it was going to.
I'm saving the good stuff for later.
Yeah.
You taught me well. I'm just saying.
That's right.
And so the drama has begun.
Yeah, it's just what I'd expect from him. Somebody that's always alphabetically at the bottom of the list. Where am I at? I'm at the top of the list.
And these are the podcasts of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
Okay.
It's just like 4 people that are our age are the only ones that got that. Is that damn show even still on?
I don't know.
Days of Our Lives? I think they are, aren't they?
I don't know.
I think they're only one that's left. I don't think any of the other ones are on anymore.
Clearly, General Hospital is the best.
Jeez. That was the
know.
one my grandparents liked. I don't know. All right, so anyway, since this isn't the best of late 80s soap operas podcast, which now makes me wonder if there is such a thing.
There probably is.
Podcast for there's got to be a podcast. Okay, that's got to be. I'm gonna have to look that up. See if there's a podcast for the daily soap operas and somebody that literally gets on every day after they go on to talk about it.
I would believe that.
I would absolutely
too.
believe it. I also believe it probably sounds like garbage because it's probably recorded on their iPhone, but that's beside the point.
Probably.
So, all right. Well, with that, let's move this shit show along. What have we been doing in roleplay this week? I can tell by the laundry list of the. Let's see. I can count the characters: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm gonna have about 25 characters total that we all wrote in. 25 of those just being from me. Mine wasn't very long either. That it was a full solid week of very mundane average role play.
Oh, it did not go like it should have. It was very quiet.
Yeah, yes, hello conniptions 69 in the chat. And yes, you do get to see me in all my fat-faced glory. I have been working on these lovely cheeks for quite some time because
They're called jowls.
Sid,
Yeah, those are
awful.
jowls. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Are you saying there's blubber?
I'm just saying, come on, Wordsmith, pick it up.
But there's fatness there.
Lots.
I thought the beard was hiding it, not so
No.
much.
No.
Let's just say both your
My
cheeks
face
are
is
really
fatter
cool.
though, so you know.
that's true. You do
yeah.
have a giant noggin.
I do.
Really?
I don't know. I've only seen her in pictures. It's really hard to tell, but I'm going with the joke. She agreed with me, so I just assume it's like an
I
orange
do.
on a
I have a
toothpick.
giant head. All my
Yeah.
kids do too. They just believe me. That was no fun to give birth to. So
Hey, she did agree to it. That means the
That's
insult
right.
stands.
You know,
Yep.
it stands. You know, that's
you can
what,
still throw something at him if you want, but yeah.
I've got all the stuff that she's thrown at me on my
He
desk now.
does.
I don't
Oh
throw
my
it back.
gosh.
Yeah,
I could throw sushi at him. I got these little walking sushi.
and then I would have little walking sushi on my desk.
Yeah, I'm not getting my stuff back anymore. This
Mm-mm.
isn't no fun. I
Yeah,
want my stuff back. I'm coming over there to claim it.
no,
I'm gonna be invaded by his.
because
Good.
I don't know if for anybody watching, it's because see that right there, that wall. I built that wall, and I made Sib pay for it.
Uh-huh.
So, put my camera back there.
I just actually picked it out.
Yeah. Man, she still paid for it because it was on her credit card. Never mind the fact that the accounts are joint. It's beside the point. So anyway, role play this week. Jazz.
Wait. I thought of a way to do it.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Okay. Duck, 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 duck. Jess. Okay, Jess. Got it.
Oh my god. This is the worst show ever. It really is.
You let them off the chain, bro. I'm just saying.
I invited them here. That's the thing. And they've
We're not on chains, dear. That's your fantasy.
see, I'm
I mean,
saying not all of Saudi Arabia's ideas are bad.
You are bad.
dang,
Very
son.
bad.
You know what his problem is? He didn't think of it. So he's like,
No,
"Oh,
I mean,
I didn't think
yeah,
of that. That
yeah.
was a good idea."
That's exactly what I was thinking internally.
Mm-hmm.
Not,
Shut up, stupid. Anyway, Jess, you're
Whoa.
welcome to go first.
Burned by your own burn.
Who really controls this show?
Nobody.
Ashen
hold on. Let me,
or Hot Sib?
hold on. Let me check.
Oh,
Let me
dang.
check real quick. Oh, hey, look at that. Somebody's muted. Huh. I wonder who really controls this show now. Huh. What's that, Sib?
Me, I'll yell. You mute yourself?
You're all right, and you're back. Uh-huh.
Send her to the-
Sometimes you just have to show
can
your authority.
Play your reindeer games.
I see. You sent her to the punishment room, sir.
Mhm.
We're in the same room, okay? So there's no muting me. There is no muting me.
Hey, Sib.
Hey, Ashen.
Does
What's
this
up?
does this smell like chloroform to you? Breathe deep. Breathe deep.
Trick question. Don't breathe it.
So, Jazz, for the third time. What you been doing roleplay this week, Puddin'?
Well, this week has been a lot of work and a lot of family stuff and a lot of stuff in general that had nothing to do with roleplay. So I've also been leveling my tune Zasher, trying to get him to 50 because I was at 44 and that's way too close. I just wanted to get it over with. So that was what I was doing when I wasn't roleplaying.
Did you make it, by the way? Or...
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I'm at 50
congrats.
and I'm in pretty armor and I'm so pleased.
I have to say, that is one thing I really like about ESO is that once you hit 50, that character instantly boosts the CP power all the way up to where you have it on all your other characters. So you don't have to
Thank God.
make that grind to 160 to get the good armors.
Every time. Yeah. No, I do like that part because that always sucked about EQ2 is you had to take it all the way, folks.
I believe that was the reason I hated and quit EQ1 because I could not freaking grind out those freaking AAs back in the day.
I didn't.
Oh God, the AA grind was so awful in EQ. I hated that so bad.
Well,
so I'm really glad that we don't do that here. But
EQ1 just getting to max level was damn near impossible.
Oh gosh, yes.
I never made it. I played that game for 5 years. I never made it to max level.
I did, but then they kept pushing the goalpost with the expansion packs. I just kind of quit at 55, or I don't remember what it was.
I think I got to level 58, and it was like 60 or 65 when I'd quit. I never quite made it. So anyway, Jazz, what have you been doing in roleplay?
So we've had a couple of people interested in joining. So we've had a couple meetings to tell people about the guild. So that was fun. And we had our tea house on Sunday, which was for Sully. Was fun, and we ended up really having some nice role play with a group of us, and have a new person that's kind of edging into maybe being interested, and also Sully's love life is kind of moving in the direction of maybe not quite so dry. So
yeah,
so that's interesting. She hasn't had another date, but she did get a chance to talk, and it was nice. I do enjoy the RP around the whole thing, not the actual thing. I've always felt that the role play that grows around a relationship is more interesting than the actual relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt that way. Which
Just
is
like
kind of
in
true
real
about
life.
marriage too. Yeah, I was like, that's kind of true about marriage too. It's really more about what you do together than what you do when you're in your bedroom. So, yeah. Let's see. Zasher, I did get a chance to play him a little bit on Monday. That was fun. And then they had a new thing out where everybody's being poisoned. So I was out leveling in the area where that was supposed to be. So he is currently unconscious in his house, and his maid found him. So that's that. I don't have to worry about playing him for a little while unless somebody figures it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I'm not one of
either.
the. I know this is terrible, but I don't post in IC stuff. I don't, because if you have no way of knowing that information, then posting it into a channel is encouraging metagaming.
Yeah.
And how are they going to? I mean, you're putting it out there, so then they have a right to say, "Oh, I happen to know this." Well, how are you supposed to know this? To me, it encourages a form of metagaming that I find particularly annoying. So,
yeah,
I don't.
I think
post in
I only really put stuff that people can see.
Yeah.
Like, like when she's working out in the courtyard or...
Right. I can see
I do
doing
that kind of
because somebody can walk back and forth and see that happen. But a lot of people post stuff that there's no way you'd even know about.
Yeah. The only
At
thing,
all.
I guess you could say, like, if you did that, he passed out in his thing, like, that might let them know, like, hey, maybe someone would think to check on him. I mean, which...
Yeah, but the thing is that's...
sort of would come about... like, if they were, in a real situation where, like, half your town went to sleep... people would go door to door checking on you, just like they,
but
down in
most people don't
disasters,
even know that Zasher exists unless he shows up.
I mean,
so
the players just,
it's fine. I'm not saying that it's
players
anybody's
just
fault.
middle ground at best,
Yeah, to me, if somebody misses him and they think to ask, like he has his friend Oh my god, I just forgot
Yeah,
his name.
good friends, huh?
Wow, what a good
Oh my
friend.
God.
Great friends.
Kizdian.
I'm so glad you remembered.
Yeah.
Wow, high up on
Hey,
that list.
I have memory issues. Leave me
She-
be. If
Yeah.
Kizdian happens to drop by, he'll find the maid taking care of him. But she
One
has
too
no
many
idea
hits
what's
with the
wrong with
snake.
him. She's had the healer there. They can't figure out what's wrong. None of the cures worked, so they're just keeping him hydrated and keeping him alive. So they don't know what's going on, and I'm waiting to see what happens. But
Yeah.
if Kizdian drops by, then he'd be the only one. But nobody else knows where he lives.
Mm.
Literally,
In
no
other
one else.
words, hey, this is bait for Kizdian.
Yeah,
That's
I just
metagaming.
asked.
You can't do that. That's metagaming. You can't stop
Yes, it
by.
is.
Can't
So
stop by now.
I asked him if
It's
Kizdian
true.
had, and he said no. He's been busy doing X, Y, and Z, and that's fine. But nobody else at the temple even knows where he lives.
No, not
He's
even
never told
Tarvala.
anybody. Nobody's asked. So he's never told anybody where he lives. So there'd be literally no way for anyone to know.
Yeah,
that he
and
will.
she doesn't care
Until
where
he doesn't
anybody
show
lives,
up.
so she's
Right. So if she doesn't show up Monday, maybe they'll be concerned. But
Then
barring
probably
that,
they'd probably notice.
he's never missed a meeting. He's never missed a training. So if he doesn't show up, maybe somebody will notice, but barring that. Anyway, so the Telvanni stuff was fun Friday. We had we promoted a new master, and there was some, political kind of maneuvering going on with that. And we have one mouth that's kind of being very dramatic and causing some problems that the masters are trying to deal with. All I see.
Let me guess, the mouth's attached to a woman. Am I right, Strafay? So carry on.
Anyway, so that was fun because I like that kind of intrigue. Always makes me have a lot of fun. And then Sully went to the Riften and is trying to recruit to find people interested, and she did find somebody. Well, so we'll see if he is interested in her pants or if he's interested in joining the Telvanni. And because it's Riften, it's like 50-50. So
I don't think he'd fit into him. She's kind of petite.
No, she's not.
Wait, which one are you talking about? Sully?
Sully.
Oh. I don't know. They all look, the figure-wise, they all kind of look, similar.
She's really tall, though. She's like Tarvala. She's just not as wide as Tarvala.
Yeah, just still skinny jeans and stuff like that, Man.
Anyway, so that was what I did primarily because I stopped really RPing Zasher being out there and stopped interacting.
Yeah, because of that, and you wanted the level.
Right. I wanted the level, and he's unconscious, so I didn't have to worry about being IC anymore. So I just went and did what I did. So that made it, I think, go faster because I'm not stopping to RP with people that poke at me.
Yeah.
I just told them, sorry, he's actually unconscious in his house right now. I'm just leveling. Oh, cool. Bye. So sorry. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I know I did go to Riften on Cial briefly, but for the most part, that's really all I've done. I've been too taken up with everything at home. My son's gonna have surgery on his knee again. Whee!
You did a guild meeting Thursday night at our
we
alternate
did do a
guild.
guild meeting at our alternate guild meeting. That's right. I forgot that. That went really well.
And you can talk to us about what you did because we didn't see it. You were interviewing all those noobs that rolled in.
Yeah, we were interviewing people and getting them their new tasks, and I didn't get the chance to see the show, which was really disappointing because I heard it was really good. But important stuff to do when the guild is trying to grow, so
yep,
all good.
Yeah. What about you, Sib? Sib? Anything? I don't remember if you did anything this week.
I didn't do a lot. I've been kind of... I did a lot of decorating again.
Oh, yeah.
And, really, my RP has pretty much been with Strafay. We RP through the decorating, and I did go to poetry night and did a poem. Everyone really liked the decorating. That was a bonus.
Yeah, I still need to go see that.
Yeah, and then
They did.
See, I did go to guild night, but I wasn't really around a lot. I haven't felt too wonderful this week, so.
Well, we had real life stuff with the boy
Yeah.
again, like always.
Yeah. got a lot of stuff going on with him, with baseball starting back up.
Which is ironic because he's in the baseball team, but everything this week has had to do with him having to go to football stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me that one.
The football homecoming. But no, it's been a real busy real life week.
Which, by the way, Broken Arrow Tigers undefeated. Woo!
That's right.
Actually, it's kind of a big thing. Usually we suck. So the fact that we beat our two biggest rivals is kind of cool. Usually we're best known for our marching band nationwide that wins every year. That's, the people everyone makes fun of.
A lot of good friends in band, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was choir and they were still nerds. So
yeah, right. I was going to say, I was in art and then we still looked down on them. I took every year of art class and we're like, band, right? You're best known for that scene out of American Pie with the flute. That's pretty much all anyone knows about you guys. Bunch of horny misfits. So, Strafay, what about you? Did you do anything else this week?
This week, I had to help a friend real live Monday, so I missed out on ordinator training. I know this is what we did in roleplay and not the excuse why we didn't roleplay, but it was kind of important. He's dealing with some badness with his ex-old lady. So I went there to keep an eye on his kids so she didn't nab him in hot 3 states.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
Yeah, poetry night went well. The attendance was rather up. Everyone enjoyed the decoration. Complimented me highly on it, to which I had to defer praise to Volley, who was muted but grinned the whole time like the cat that ate the canary. The rest of the time, like Sib said, I mean, it's been
one of those weeks. Yeah,
decorating, light roleplay back and forth. The guild meeting went pretty well. I like the whole new Earth Tier cavern we met in. Everyone seemed to love it, but it was a little more spread out, so people kind of cloistered themselves off. I noticed a little bit. I sat in the table closest to the bar, but even then, either everybody was just tired or it was just, I don't know. Maybe people were off.
I think it's October now. We're getting to that time of year where things start picking up for everybody. School's in full swing, and then the holidays are going to be bam, bam, bam. I mean, we got Columbus Day this weekend, right? I mean, everyone's excited. Everyone got their Columbus Day trees up.
I didn't even get it off, man. They're not letting us loose.
I know there's a lot of controversy calling it Indigenous Peoples Day, blah, blah, blah. Forget all that. Forget it. It shouldn't even be Columbus Day. Fucker didn't even discover it first. Americo Vespucci. We're called the United States of America, not the United States of Colombia. You know why?
That's right.
Because he found it first, and that fucker took all the credit. That's why. Because he had the Nina Pina and Santa Maria, and they rhyme and they sound good when you say them in order. Nina, Pina, Santa Maria. See, that's the whole reason. And
they had a great drunken brawl on the Bahamas, and they sailed back to Spain. So there you go.
Yeah. So fuck Columbus Day, Americo Vespucci Day. That's what it should be called.
I even emptied my mailbox for my mailman because I knew he wouldn't be there tomorrow. But Tuesday he'll get a treat. It'll be empty for him.
Wow. You want to give him a real treat, leave him something in there.
I'm good.
I prefer to leave fake snakes.
It's not a federal offense, though.
I'm pretty sure that's a federal offense because one of my friends.
Oh, yeah? Well, then tell that to the frog that keeps living in this one person's mailbox and scares the shit out of me every time I open the door.
It would be a federal offense to Sib because I hate snakes. I would never deliver your mail again. I'd be like, no.
I almost stepped on one the other day. Like literally,
too bad you didn't.
It was a tiny little pencil thin green grass snake, and I always look ahead of me, and the one day the bitch that lives there had the gall and the audacity to be outside being friendly and talking to me, making me not pay attention to the nope rope I almost stepped on.
The nope rope.
I literally had to I danced over him, and then the little fucker had the audacity to sit there in their driveway with his head up and stared at me like I was the idiot.
Well, you know why, don't you?
Because he's an asshole.
That was a spirit of Nilok coming to say hi. Speaking of, I mean, it was just light. The rest of the week was just light relationship RP, just this and that. passing comments, the stuff Jazz was talking about, the little things you do when you're just hanging out.
Mm-hmm. Making out with my wife in character. Right, I got you.
I mean, there was...
There
was more
this
like,
picture.
hey, pick this up. Hey, move it there.
Yeah.
Why are you moving so slow, Trat?
I'll tell you,
Trat's
we
like,
had we had really a lot of fun at their expense because we were on voice while they were decorating, and
Oh, gosh.
she's just kind of taking over his entire house and moving things around, and he's like, "Hey, but that's mine." But hey,
Strafay. Anytime
Yeah.
you're wondering what you're missing out on by being in a relationship, remember this week.
Well, it's so funny because
Nothing. You're
he's
missing
running
out
around-
on nothing.
he's running around going, "Oh, there! She just blew up the bar. Oh, she just blew up this. Oh, she just blew up this." And I'm like, I didn't blow him up. I just disassembled him.
Let me tell you, it's not nearly as much fun in the real life because that shit's heavy.
See, this is...
But
Yeah,
he wouldn't
I've helped
stop
move a few
moving.
people.
He was like running from me, and I'm like, "Hey, stop moving! I need you to take this stuff from me."
And it
so
went
you
like
can put it
this.
down."
Hey, I got this really great idea for the bar. Let's not touch the bar for now. Let's do everything else. But I got this side. I'm moving it. And I just watched it move. I was like,
No. What he said was, let's get this correct. He said, "Go ahead and do what you want with the bar." And I said, "Okay. And if you don't like it, we can put it back exactly the way you had it." And
Translation.
See,
hold
that was-
on. Let me interject your interjection. Let me translate that from woman into human speech.
oh, I know it.
You can. I'm going to take this apart, and you can put it back if you want to. You know, the shitty way it used to be.
But if you do, there's going to be consequences.
I didn't think that at all.
Uh-huh.
And why are you laughing?
Because it was funny.
That's because it's true.
yeah, just take a look at my house and see how much of the furniture is actually on my husband. Yeah.
All things in comedy that are the funniest have just an inkling of truth in them. Just saying.
But all things aside, the place looks great. She did a wonderful job. And, I mean, I got a little light role play out of it, and it was fun.
Yeah,
so that was
that's
the
all
week.
good.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I did the big. The first Monday of every week, we're doing across like clergy and ordinator training and servants of the temple. Usually, they do their own things separately. Like ordinators, will do ordinator training, and then the clergy does boring talking afterwards by themselves. I don't think that's actually how they say it. I just I don't like talking clergy stuff. I prefer to beat people in the head with giant pretend sticks. So with this, it was actually both at once, which is what we're doing. And I tried for the first time a 2 versus 2 RP duel using mechanics like rolls and things like that. And I say it was moderately successful. I mean,
It was.
went
It's just it didn't
smoothly,
really
and
do
everyone
that
had
way.
fun, but they didn't necessarily do it exactly the way I had envisioned. But it still worked out.
Yeah.
Not
They
everybody.
just did 1-on-1 with 2 people.
Right.
But it was still really good.
But they still, they kind of incorporated the other person somewhat into it. So, but it was supposed to be, they had one clergy and one ordinator on one side, one clergy, one ordinator on the other side. If you don't know what the clergy is, they're basically the priests and priestesses. So they can do some destructive magic, but they also can heal or cast wards or paralyze and things like that. Which was a question I got several times. What happens if someone paralyzes you? It's like, well...
And you can't move.
Well, I actually said, well, you could also have it as a glancing blow. So, like, a leg goes numb and is paralyzed, or your arm, it's kind of like, it doesn't have to be like getting hit with a taser, where as long as it's in you, you're going down. You can fudge a little bit.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. Oh, come on, wordsmith. Spit it out.
I'm trying to... As long as it's in a little bit, she's going down. That's...
As long as it's...
Sorry, I'm trying to get my phone off.
Look what you did, Jazz.
Man.
I remembered just now that it was on, and just as I picked it up, it goes off.
Boop, 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 boop.
There you go.
But, and then they were supposed to both do a roll on, it was attack defense roll. So one side attacks, and then they roll, and then they were supposed to add it up, and that was the total number between the two of them. Then had to defeat the total number of the other two added.
And that was way too complicated.
And
for
apparently,
people.
a simple addition was a little bit much for some of them. But they still managed, as long as they were having fun. I'm not one of those, like, that's what the ideal thing was supposed to be, and a few groups did it, and they were supposed to combine, like, their emotes and things like that, but as long as people actually had, like, everybody seemed to have a really good time, they enjoyed it, even if it ended up kind of still being, like, one-on-one, but with teams,
Yeah,
that's
basically what it was. Yeah.
Right, which is fine, but several people said they'd love to do it again. So as people are actually,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I have to say,
if people
fun.
say that, at least that, most people, if they didn't have fun, but they're just being nice, they'll be like, that was fun, or thanks, which they also could mean. But if they're just being polite, but if you're not just being polite, you don't say, let's do it again because that was awful,
Yeah. And I had a fun time because I was paired off with Nefala's but I didn't know it was her. So it was really funny because she's talking to me like she knew me, and I was like, this person's awfully familiar.
Who the fuck you is? Yeah.
And then I realized, because I was like, which one are you? Because I thought we were going to go alphabetical, and I didn't know who the person was in the group chat. And she was like, I'm Nefala. I'm like, well, hi there. It was funny.
Oh, but so that was really the big RP thing I did this week. I think I brought someone into the guild, but that was just, that's getting to know you roleplay a little bit and giving them the lowdown on how things work. That was pretty much it for me. There was nothing else I can really remember. So, all right. Are you
got her singing, bro? I can hear
What?
it.
Yeah, you're singing into the microphone. That thing in front of you picks up
Because I was
sound.
thinking, getting to know you.
It picks up sound.
Know all about
Oh my
you.
god. No. Just no.
Direct from last episode.
Good times.
All right. So, all right. Well, with that, before let's see, we got before we go into our word for our sponsor, you know what? Let's actually I'm going to do the other way. I'm going to do the word from the sponsor as the announcement, and then we'll go into the details. How's that sound, guys? That sound good?
Okay.
All right.
Good to me.
So, all right. Well, with that, we have a word from our sponsor, brought to you by, us, and a new friend of the show. Well, hello. It is I, finally, the one you have been waiting for with bated breath. 'Tis I, the one, the only, Llama. Yes, I know what you're thinking, and yes, the very same one that came to the most amazing and complex storyline in RP so far. If only I can find the proper people to participate that won't screw it all up. Now, that is not why I am here today, though. Today, I am here to announce that my beautiful face will adorn the most cutting-edge merchandise bearing the RPMMO Radio logo. For a mere $5 at patreon.com/RPMMO Radio or higher, you can have my amazing face emblazoned upon whatever you place me on. The confidence, the surety, Is that the sticker?
Yeah, that's it. We voted on it and everything, and that's the one we all decided best represented the drama llama.
But it's crying. Not just crying, but ugly crying. Where's the glitz, the glamour, the showing how amazing I am to all those around me?
Well, I mean, you aren't that great. You get offended at everything. You cause nothing but drama, and you fly off the handle at the slightest.
What? I do not fly off the handle. You come on my commercial and insult me. Me. I who created the original vampire roleplay with the real 2-inch fangs before everyone copied me. Oh, sure, I might have said a few things behind their back and a few times in their front, but that's hardly drama. or that time someone said something I disagreed with. They had to be put in their place. How else would they have known how virtuous I was if I had not signaled to everyone in the guild chat? No, everyone has to know that my opinion is and how much more it matters than theirs. I do not cry like that for no good reason. It wasn't my fault the dice were rigged against me and caused my character to lose the duel that I started. I was supposed to win. Supposed to win. I would never lose like that. And the fact that the simpleton could not see that was not my fault. Not mine. Of course, I had to rage quit and retcon the entire thing. What else would I have done?
But then you went on the forums and the Discord and complained about it for an hour OOC and caused a lot of people to get upset no matter what they said to you.
Well, duh! If I didn't tell everyone how I was wronged, how else would they know to get those people blacklisted like the plebe that they are? People might have taken his side if I had not informed them, righteously so. You know what? I don't need this. I'm leaving this podcast, and I'm taking all of my friends, everybody, come with me. You're coming. We are failing. I'm flustered. Your failing cute little podcast will be dead in a month without me. Goodbye.
Bye, Felicia. So you heard the llama, and since it's already signed the waiver for its likeness, we'll be giving them out anyway. Just go to patreon.com, RPMMO Radio, and join us for $5 or more. Be sure to give your address, and when you do, we can get them out to you. They'll be mailed out at the first of the month to all those that qualify, not to mention the other perks of being a Patreon. Patreon.com/RPMMO Radio. Go there today.
I said good day to you! Well, I think that went about as well as you could have expected.
Man, that llama.
Man.
Right?
Are we sure we want her as, or him as the mascot?
Her or him.
Whichever it is. Yes.
I didn't get a good
androgynous
look.
drama llama.
I didn't get a good look.
It changes according to the weather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently so. So, as you may have heard, we finally have the logo ready, and stickers are on their way. I'm putting it in the chat. I don't know if I can put it on Discord, but I'll try. Or not Discord, but yeah. Let's see if that'll do it. Sure, why not? I don't think that did anything. Refresh chat. So, if you go to our Discord, rpmradio.com/Discord, to our Discord channel, we've got the sticker of what it will look like up there. It'll be about 3x3. It's going to be a pretty good little sticker. It's based off of Smiling Sorcerer's Drama Llama and what Strafe had put together for us in use of it with the show's name and, well, as you can see, the ugly crying llama. That was definitely the winner by a very large margin.
Morgan?
By a very large Morgan Freeman. So let's see here. With that, we have, over at patreon.com/RPM Radio. So anything $5 and above, we'll send that out to you. You just have to give your address, make sure it should if I have it set up right, and if it doesn't, somebody let me know, because it should be. I clicked the box. That's all I know how to do. It should ask you to include your home address. We'll mail those out after the first of the month when everything goes through. You'll also get some other things when you do. You'll get mentioned on the show that you're a Patreon and a benefactor. You get a nifty green thing in the Discord channel. The $10 and $20 you get access to the show notes, which I really need to be better at putting on there. I need to find a better way to do that, because if I put them on there too soon, then people can't see or people on the show can't edit them, and if I do them too late, it's basically worthless. But yeah, it should. I'm excited. I'm excited to have all this kind of stuff to do for you. And if it's successful, we'll do other things. We hope to, maybe even have shirts one day and things like that. I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So, but we might do that on our own at first, just to see how they look and how well it goes. Kind of do a test sample, and then if people actually want them, I know there's a few out there that have said that they would. So,
I totally want my Ashen Phoenix sticker that says "I remember it differently."
Yeah, we might have to do like I said. If it's successful enough, we could do ones of the actual characters. We've actually come up with various ones for each of our giant stupid faces that would say something that we say on the show a lot. Like as mine would be, "I remember it differently." Strafe, I think everyone we can agree would be bro. Bro. Because he does say bro a lot. Kishmas, obviously, it would be listen.
Listen.
Sibs would be I'm the nice. Is it I'm the nice one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jazz would be, I think it would just say the cougar, really.
No, it'd be like, wow.
Meow.
Maybe the cougar. But,
Yeah.
it's just something we want to do for anybody that cares and, wants to support the show and have something stupid to have, at their house and throw on your laptop or, your, I don't know, book bag, whatever the fuck people do with stickers. I don't know. I have no idea. I know I'm going to.
My son puts them all over his door and all over his walls, and eventually I have to remove them all to paint it. But yeah, fun.
Well, that sounds like a real pain in the ass. I wouldn't suggest doing what Jazz's kid does. So don't do that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them I saw the other day. He got a hold of them somewhere, and there's like 60 stickers right around his bed.
Yeah, and it's
like, who did this? Why am I even asking? What? You said I could decorate my room. I meant your stuff, not the wall. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, people, look at that. People asking for Human Floyd. I tell you, that he's a very elusive guy, though. But we love having him on, but we always have to,
track him down. He's not what you would call a heavy Discord user.
Like getting Gorm on the show, it wreaks a lot of havoc after the fact.
Right. Well, I mean, in the scale rot that he always tends to bring with him.
Yeah.
He always has to come on the show in his scaly costume. It's really, I don't even know why, because he's not even videotaped. So I don't know. But yeah. So if you guys, anybody want to, patreon.com/RPMRadio. The more successful it is, we've got plenty of them. So. And we'll if you want more than that, we'll figure out how to do that. So we'll just see how it goes. It's really up to you, the listeners, how much you like that kind of thing and might want it and like the design. I love the design. Love the crying llama. So,
yeah, that's hilarious and perfect.
Yeah, but with that, so enough tooting our own horn and all that. We have the entire episode to talk about drama llamas and lead back to that. So. Let's hit the main topic here about drama llamas, of which you could go to patreon.com/ see how I'm doing that, rpmradio.com and get one. But yeah, so drama llamas are something that come up in roleplay a lot. We're not meaning this in a bad way. They're not.
Yes, we are.
They're not. Well, what I mean is it's not like it's not littered with them. But when you come across one, they tend to be an ongoing llama. Like they just they come around, they spit at you, and then they walk away, and you're like, oh well, that was horrible, and it smells bad, and then it's like, oh, but I'm finally cleaned off, and then it hits you again when you weren't looking from the back. They're
2
sneakies.
to 3 out of 10 role players. 2. I'd say 2 is probably a good.
So using public school education math, it's 2 out of 10 instead of 1 out of 5.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha. You're funny.
She went to college, everybody. Money well spent.
I did.
Not for math,
I was
right?
trying to be nice to people who don't do math.
Sure, you were. A likely story.
Yeah. So she was. So you were talking down to all the Asians. I hear you.
Oh my God. What's
What? They're good at math. That's not a stereotype. It's just being like thoughtful and giving a compliment. I've seen enough comedians to know that that's a thing.
I mean, facts, they got higher IQ than most folks.
I'm out, man. I'm walking away. I'm strutting away.
Hey, that's not fair. I love the Chinese people. Their food is delicious. It's filled with MSG.
Now. Let's just move on. Let's just, yeah.
And their pollution, they found, actually makes you stupider.
Hot and sour soup, though, man.
Yeah, she loves the hot and sour soup. I'm not a fan.
I do too. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the little crunchies. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Or that the pecan soup. I'm not a fan of that just because it looks like exactly what I just called it.
Yikes.
I think they call it egg drop soup, but
I was like, what are you talking about? Oh my gosh.
You talking about that chicken corn soup?
No, he's talking about egg drop
soup. It does look really disgusting.
It does.
It really, really does.
Yeah, and it tastes like it looks.
It looks like someone cooked a bunch of spit.
Yeah.
It's really awful.
Dick spit. So, drama llamas
oh my God.
are everywhere.
Did you just say that?
What? He really did just say that. Oh my God.
Oh.
Hey, there's probably a lot of people equally laughing and slightly offended right now. So
probably
it works
slightly
out.
offended.
I would say slightly offended, yeah.
Slightly
yeah, but those
offended.
people don't count. So drama llamas. See there. Thank you, Taida. I think that's how you say your name. Taida. I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm stuck with saying names. But they're laughing. So in your face. 1 out of 1 thinks it's hilarious. That's a 100% ratio. Taida, thank you. I'm totally
anyway,
names.
Drama llamas.
So drama llamas, they are everywhere. Some of them even run a podcast, especially in roleplay. So let's have some fun with this. We're just gonna kind of tell some stories, kind of like the Derp episode we did. It's a lot. There's
a lot of crossover.
There's a lot of crossover with Derp and drama llamas, but there's definitely a difference because the drama can come from just the most ridiculous thing, whereas the Derp usually just comes from the unending stupidity.
Yeah.
So, and a fun fact, because I was curious, is like, I wonder what Urban Dictionary has to say about drama llamas. Turns out, there's a listing. Drama llama doesn't just rhyme. Like I thought it was just like a thing like drama llama. It sounds good. It rhymes. It also comes about because people push their drama onto other people like a llama spits, just randomly and often with malice. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, I was like, that I don't know if that was the initial intent, but it makes sense. I love watching
it. Works.
Anybody else watch videos online with a llama and someone goes up to it and you're like, well, I know how this is going to end. I'm still going to wait. And sure enough, that kid just gets a face full of, you can even see him working it up like.
I know. You can see them getting ready to do it. I'd be like moving.
He's being, we saw one actually. I think we posted pictures of the black. His name was Shadow because he was black and they were very creative people. He never spat though. So, but every single time he got near or he looked us in the face, we were waiting for it. I was waiting
he
for
liked
someone
to sniff
spit.
hair.
He did. He had this weird hair fetish. Like he'd get, like if you turned your back to him, he would come right up on you and just like.
I had a guy that would do that to dryer lint. I'm assuming it's kind of the same expression.
I'm more creeped out by that than if you said he had come up behind you and did that to the back of your head.
No, he would go and he would sneak into like the laundry rooms of apartment complexes and take their dryer lint and take it home and sniff it and do things to it.
Okay, that's
Jazz, I don't believe you. That's a fabrication.
No, it's a thing. Look it up.
I've seen. Have you seen people at laundromats, Straffe?
I don't
Honestly,
know laundromats, I know.
It's more likely that happens every day than doesn't happen.
Fair point. Fair point, but that still sounds suspect.
Nope, that's really that's
Are you
the
sure
thing.
he wasn't just like a Boy Scout that liked to be really prepared in case he needed to use his flint and a key?
As someone who was helping him be in the world, I had to remove any lint that I found.
God, at least it wasn't belly button lint, I guess. Looking on the
Yeah.
bright side of things.
He'd have to show me his pockets, and he'd have to empty out his drawer. I had to look for in his drawers to make sure there was no lint anywhere, because he would take it with him and do inappropriate things. So we always had to make sure that he didn't have any lint with him when we went out in public.
I don't even know want to know.
This weird moment brought to you by Jazz.
How
Welcome
do you
to the
do
weirdness.
inappropriate things with lint?
Really? You need me to explain it?
I don't know. I'm
got nothing.
struggling with this. Like, I mean,
Sensory is sensual.
okay. Well, I mean, that's better than what
So
I thought
one
you were
hand
going to
holds the lint.
Okay, see, at least that's better. I thought that there would be like a plunger and his pants were down and his backside and he'd be... Anyway,
No.
yours is much tamer than where my imagination went.
Yeah,
Which probably
that's
says...
good. Good Lord, I worry about you sometimes.
I'm a little worried too with the plunger thought.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, last week we brought up a squirrel in a toy taxi, so, you know, whatever floats your boat. Don't judge me. Don't kink shame me.
Whatever generates your Mass Effect field,
That's
bro.
right. Yeah, see, he gets it.
And you made fun of me for my duck goose thing. Really?
I don't remember that.
I remember it differently.
I was waiting for it.
So, all right. Well, basically, with the drama llamas, it often comes from like the smallest or the littlest of things, and it can turn what would be like an offhanded firecracker moment into like a small tactical nuke, of just sheer stupidity, basically, just the dumbest of the dumb things. And before we get to our stories, if there's anybody out there that has one of their own and you would like to share it, I saw there were some mentions of it in the chat. I think it was Gangsy before I had to refresh it because I fucked that up. That rpmradio.com/Discord, or if you're already in our Discord channel, jump yourself in the caller waiting room. Rahana will make sure all your stuff's working, and we'll hear your stories live to share with everybody. Now, if you're uncomfortable because you're still gilded with the people, you just maybe just don't mention the guild or where it was or any names. You can just give the general idea, and I think we'll figure it out from then, and then tell them about them that you were on the show talking about them. So, all right. Well, the first one here, I'm gonna go to Jazz because when she had first, I read through her laundry list of stuff, and the first one.
The first one wins.
The first one, yeah, I almost want you to hold the first one for last, to be honest with you, Jazz.
Okay.
Yeah, do that one last, because
that's the winner. The first one is the winner.
It's so
winner, chicken dinner.
It's so butt stupid that it just So go. We'll let Jazz go through her stories, and we'll make fun of that stuff, and then I got some. Kishmas wait and see if Kishmas is able to make it in, and he'll get his, and then we'll talk about how to identify and understand and deal with drama llamas as they do inevitably come up in any and every guild ever. Yes. So, all right,
I like
Jess.
the kind that decides to leave and takes like 10 and 20 of their friends with them out of the guild.
Yeah, but look what you made me do.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. That's what that is.
It's because you didn't give in to my demands. Because I'm amazing.
Because you didn't change the guild for me.
Yeah.
You don't know who I am. You do not give me the proper respect. Sorry.
I don't give you any respect, to be fair.
I know.
Dang.
I love you. I love you so much. You got real pretty ears. Reminds me of my dog. He's a basset hound.
He's a chug.
No, he's a fat chug.
Oh my god.
Big fat chug. He's a Chihuahua pug mix. It's chug. Chihuahua pug chug. There you go. Ta-da. So, Jazz, what you got?
Okay, so we're skipping the first one.
Yeah.
We'll start with the second one. It started fairly mundanely. We were at a guild meeting, and a female character that had joined the guild recently, and had recently told us that she was a werewolf, but somehow hid it from us. And there had been a minor drama moment with that, which I guess I should have had a little clue in at that point. because she claimed that she just spontaneously turned into one for no real reason. And she just decided to be one, so she turned into one. It was, and we explained that's not how it works. So we helped her write. She was obviously very new to RP originally, is what we thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so we helped her, come up with a story of how she was turned and blah, 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 blah. And she was at the guild meeting, and we were all sitting around, and she jumped on Vaca and bit her and attacked her. Now, my character is the leader of a guild that has anywhere from 30 to 50 active people at all times back in the day. So there was a lot of people at the guild hall. We usually had at the meeting anywhere from 20 to 25 people in attendance. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't count, the officers on stage with Vaca. So, an ancient vampire, a big old werewolf, and then Rengots, who is Strayface character, who just likes to kill people for fun. These are her three.
And a badass, good-looking dark elf.
That's right. May or may not be modified by the guild leader herself.
Yes. So she jumped, and she god-modded the jump, but because we assumed she was new, I didn't call her on that right away and retcon the whole thing. We kind of rolled with it. She jumped on her. She bit her. She got thrown in cuffs and refused to be tried, refused to anything, had all four friends saying that we were trying to force roleplay on her because she shouldn't have to pay consequences if she doesn't want to. Their rules, their words, not ours.
Mm-hmm.
And then insisted that she had turned my character just because. And I tried to explain to her that's not possible because she is. And it just turned into
not to mention you can't just do that to somebody without permission.
But even if I had gone along with it, it wouldn't work because of what she is.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, some creatures are just immune to being werewolves, and she's one of them.
It's why we joke about a were-vampire, but technically neither one can exist.
Right.
Yeah.
At least not in the lore that we were in. There is some lore where that's possible,
right.
But it's not
that documentary series Underworld had that.
Yeah. So, we had to deal with that.
Hot leather pants.
She ended up, after 3 days, leaving the guild with all of her friends. So it went from a fairly simple situation that I thought was perfectly handled to this big drama-ific with people taking sides, and we lost 4 or 5 people who left in a huff, 2 of which came back later.
Saying,
over this
damn,
miss.
She was crazy.
Yeah, and they came back and said, okay, so she's like totally crazy, and we're really sorry we took the side. Can we?
Yeah.
So that was one right there. Another one was we had a healer, and you touched on how healer RP can just be
right.
God-awful.
Yeah, I got healing Nazis or healing Hitler.
Yeah, you got healing Nazi, and you'll deal with that later. But we have had our share of healers who try to be dun, 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 and we've had in multiple guilds. I've had this problem, but in this particular one, we knew that she took the wounds on herself, but
that one. Oh my goodness.
There's drama right there waiting.
I know, and I've learned that whenever somebody starts doing that, we nix it right then. The minute somebody starts that nonsense, we're like, nope, stop. You can't be a healer. I know where that goes because every single time it goes to bad places. It never ends. It never stops. It's always the drama llama when they do that nonsense. So anyway,
never gonna give you up.
Yeah,
never gonna let you down.
So she took on wounds. She was apparently, without telling anybody, pregnant because she didn't want to get sidelined. And I should explain, in Silver Circle, when you are pregnant, because we're a military guild. So when you get pregnant, you are basically sidelined as soon as we know until you have the child. And then you can go back to whatever rank you were at. But you are basically sidelined until you have your child.
Servants does the same thing for the ordinators because...
Right. It's just not safe because you'll bleed more. There's hundreds of things that can go wrong. It's just
you could
not
kill the baby.
Right. I mean, no matter how... And Vodka was big on, not hurting kids. So, the minute you're pregnant, you're done until it's over. And that was a guild rule almost from the get-go. And we got challenged on that all the time. So she hid it from everybody, and only her little friends knew that she was pregnant. Well, then she took this wound on herself and ended up miscarrying. In the middle, remember that whole thing we did when you're in the middle of an event, somebody has to try to take all the credit away.
You spotlight. They
spotlight.
They try to take it away from me. Yeah.
This is what it was. She took on wounds. She miscarried, and all of a sudden it was about her, about the 12 other wounded people. It was about her and miscarrying her baby and carrying the dead fetus around. It was bad.
What was she using the umbilical cord like a hand basket, or was she just like flinging?
She was carrying it around and bleeding all. It was a mess. And
It was a baby flail.
It's a baby chucks. We're going back to baby chucks.
It was just
if it had been twins, it would have been perfect.
Right. And so then she was, after this whole thing passed and the baby was buried and everything had calmed down, we told her that she could no longer heal. Because
the way she heals is ludicrous.
It's damaging. She has to learn another way of healing, and we're not going to let her be a healer anymore, and that caused drama in and of itself. So this one person created about 5 weeks of drama all by herself, just because we were sticking to rules that are written down on the webpage that no one can miss at any time.
Yeah, well, not to mention the lowest common denominator of the aborted fetus role play. Like, hey, nothing says I don't want attention like having a baby that's aborted because I did something stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about.
We had a lot of that. We had people doing that all the time.
This is where my personal hatred for all things baby role play came from. It
does. And I ran a guild. And I say later on in my little thing that it's no wonder I hate baby RP, because just about every single time there was a pregnancy in the guild, it was always dramarific. The commander who got pregnant and refused to step down, even knowing the rules and being an officer and knowing and had to talk to people about, you're pregnant, now you have to step down. When she got pregnant, she said, I don't have to step down because in history there was a Viking who had triplets on the battlefield and kept fighting. So it's fine. What?
Stop ripping off freaking Conan, the new one.
Yeah. So there was a lot of pregnancy RP that just went sideways.
Typically, a lot of it went so badly so often, or people, they would get all pissed off because even after their kid had come, they'd end up sidelining themselves and writing themselves into a box, and then they'd get pissed off and be moody and angry. It was just, but that's why I hate baby roleplay. 99.9% of it is absolute garbage. Sorry. Anybody out there that's doing it, hey, you do what...
There are some people that do it well. I mean, I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I had several characters that had babies, and even that spawned roleplay
and
that was drama.
Miserable every time.
And it was. I hated it, but sometimes the roles went that way.
What was the one where the the brain's not fully formed, but for some reason it was fully conscious and contacting outside the womb, and then when you call them on that, they're like, they get pissed. They get pissed, and then you're in a whole other drama llama thing.
Yeah, it was just always a problem. I mean, when my character had a child, the lore for my character is when she's pregnant, she can't regenerate like she can normally. So the normal Vaca, who's basically, takes care of herself, if she gets hurt badly, she'll die. Yeah. So it's like, and I've had to actually roll because I was told if you kill your character, I'll be very angry with you. But there were a couple of times when, because of baby RP, my character almost died.
Yeah. Which is why baby RP's stupid.
I avoided that as much as possible.
Yes. All right. So what's the next one?
This actually happened more than once, but there was one in particular that was really bad. A person, in the course of a role play, allowed their character to be killed. Now, we always roll. We don't go by permadeath usually, but this particular person that was running the event did. And he said, if you do this, your character might die. So anybody that was taking part in the role play knew that their character could die. Mind you, mine wasn't there for a reason.
And I wouldn't have shown up.
Right. Because, but we had 5 or 6 people that showed up for the event who knew that their character could die. And when a situation came to, I was DMing the event with him, so that I got to play the bad guy, and that never ends well. I've learned not to ever do that, because when I roll the bad guy, my rolls are amazing.
How'd that go again, Jazz?
Yeah, I know. I've almost killed our guild like 4 times. Our entire guild. I'm forbidden from ever doing that again. I have a shirt to prove it that says my dice are trying to kill me. And the rolls went to such a degree that she had to roll whether or not she lived or died. She rolled a 1. And for the next, I swear, 5 years, she brought it up every chance she could that we killed her tune against her will.
What?
Never mind that her character wasn't permanently dead.
Right.
So
I'm starting to remember this.
yeah, this was, and she eventually got over it. But I mean, it was a long time. And that was always,
going
pet peeve of
through
mine.
the stories and the ones that you have and the ones that I have, I've got a terrible memory for people. I remember the events, but I don't always remember the specific person. I actually wonder how many of these are actually the same person over and over.
well, so far I haven't told you a single person was a repeat. So
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I tried
through
not
your-
to create,
through your
because many of these people had multiple situations.
right,
I'm
through your
leaving those
laundry
out.
list and what I have, I'm wondering how often this was just like the same couple people. How many repeats of offenders there will be on this list.
Yes. And this one is a repeat. The person who joined our guild created a brothel, asked me permission to do this and to do it in Silver Circle's name. There probably would be ERP, but it would be private. It would be upstairs and nobody would be like watching it or whatever. I mean, it would be between characters. And yeah, and I was like, this is a bad idea. And I remember Rengot's Stray Fate was also like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But the other officers were like, it'll be fine. We'll manage it. I'm like, okay.
I was like, we won't. We'll manage the BS. Oh,
Yeah.
I got outvoted, so whatever. Frack them.
So the brothel was created, and it actually never resulted in drama. I was boggled. It never did result in drama. The drama was after these people left the guild, they went and told everyone that we forced them to participate in the brothel RP.
When it was their idea.
When it was their idea in the first place, and their business, their building, their in EQ2 you had houses, you had
right,
kind of
and it was
SO
tied to the account. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, it was her house. It was her thing. She goes, well, she forced me to do it. Whatever. So that caused some drama that remained in my memory.
We stopped going there just to freaking nix all
Yes.
that crap in the
We
butt.
just stopped and they eventually left the guild. But, and then of course there's the common one that has occurred so many times. I can't, I mean, it's happened in several games. It's happened in several guilds. I've always run dark RP guilds. I prefer dark RP. And it never fails. You get someone who comes into the guild demanding that no one swear or use sexual innuendos or talk about rape or use
not even
anything.
talk about it. Just use the word rape, boobs, butt, or I don't know, whatever else.
And they would very slowly eat away at everybody so that everybody was walking on eggshells until it finally just blew up because somebody did. They flipped out and said, that's enough. He didn't say anything that was that bad. You need to calm down. And they left the guild.
That was me. It was me. That was me. It happened to me. Me. It was me. That was me. What a shock. That's one of the things on my list is the number of times I've been called various something a phobe or apologist or I've been called a lot of things by a lot of people. Very, very
And in one
dumb
instance, we
people.
both got called names. So we'll
Yes.
call that one well.
Yep. Yeah, I actually have come to the point where I know Jazz wouldn't approve it, but if it was up to me, since you can modify people's names on Discord, that those people would have a tiny little snowflake put right next to their name to identify them to other people.
No, I would not
Good
allow
stuff.
that.
See, that's why I haven't brought it up, but the thought actually has crossed my mind.
Only if only officers could see that symbol. That would be the only way that I would
I'll be
pay
honest.
it.
Like, if somebody in our Discord came into the Discord on the for the show and was like, "What you say is offends me," I would instantly put snowflake right next to it. I wouldn't say anything. I'm not even gonna fight it. I'm just snowflake. That's it. That's all you're gonna get. And if you hear this episode, you'll understand it. If not, you're just gonna be probably more upset than you already are.
Okay, I'm going to keep moving because I have a long list.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, the pregnant vampire that started out a vampire, but then had half of her vampire taken away by a god so that she could get pregnant. And this actually happened in multiple variations, more than once. But this particular one, we explained that she couldn't be in the military while pregnant, and she left the guild. But she left the guild after 4 days of constant drama between her and two of her friends. It was bad. And and the thing is that I don't know if this is true with regular guilds or not, because I've never run anything but
Is there really such a thing?
I have always run a dark RP guild, and I am willing to admit that it's possible that I experience more drama because we're a dark RP guild. I certainly, when I ran a vampire guild, saw 300% more drama than I did in my dark RP
that
guild.
vampire. But see, I was in like the Vagabond Knights, which was a good guy roleplay guild, but really, it had a lot of the same kind of stuff. I think it's just it's people. People are just, people, and people can be really dumb and really bad and awful. So it's probably, I would say with the vampire ERP guilds, I'm sure that definitely like cranks it up.
The vampire guild, I mean, I've had people say you should start another vampire guild in this game, and I told them, there were swear words involved, but I told them that was never going to happen.
Hell to the fucking no.
I have post-traumatic stress disorder for running a vampire guild. I have never experienced so much drama in my life than I did with a vampire guild. Never again. Anyway, and all these did not happen. I could fill a whole thing with vampire RP drama. This was just in our dark RP guild. We had a person who could get pregnant by standing next to you and then a year later get pregnant.
Boy, that would be a terrible way to live.
Yeah, it was done several times by several RPers. It wasn't just one person. This happened Guild Wars, it happened in Q, it happened in Star Wars, and these were all different people. These were not the same RPer. It was not the same storyline. It was just, I'm some kind of creature that can suck the sperm out of you without ever touching you and keep the sperm until I want to get pregnant. This particular person, but
sorry, there's this comedian, he said, could you imagine if sex worked differently than it does? Like if you accidentally banged heads together, that was how it happened. And his scenario was you're at your office and Susan from accounting drops her paper and you both, bend down to pick it up and on the top of the head is cut. Oh shit. Well, I guess we should exchange information. It's that would
that's awesome.
Just standing next to somebody, you're
yeah. And I had to have that conversation.
Impregnating me.
I'd have to say, you can't metagame someone else's sperm. You just, I had to say that. I have never thought I would ever say that to another person.
That you shouldn't have to say to another living human being.
And I had to say, in a tale, dude, you can't metagame some other character's sperm. You can't choose for somebody else to get pregnant. You can't do that. Why not?
You can't tie somebody to your character, fuckwit.
Yeah, you can't do that. But I don't need them to roleplay with me. No. Stop it. You can't do that. So they left the guild.
That's would that be I know this is gonna be speaking of rape tropes, so would that be would that be I don't know
it is.
Would
actually,
that be it'd be metaphysical rape, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. It is.
I'm trying to come up with the concept, right? It would be, but
yeah, but it was I had to have that character at least 3 different times in my roleplay career. So it is not, and each time I'm always boggled I had to have this conversation. Kind of stop exposing your butthole to your brother. These are not things you want to say, but I have said to my children.
Say to another living, no, don't eat the gum from underneath the Denny's table. I know there's a lot of it. I know. I don't care if it smells like cherries. No, you don't put that in your mouth.
Yes, exactly.
God damn,
Let's
kid.
see. Then there was, and this was multiple times, 7,000, 5,000, 3,000 year-old vampires trying to join our guild in a game where vampires and dark elves didn't even exist until 2000, not even 2,000 years before.
Yeah.
And the drama that would explode when we would tell these people no, because a lot of them were established characters that we'd never had a problem with. And they would roll a new character and pull this nonsense, and we'd be like, are you high? No, you know the lore. But and I've heard this 1,000 times, but it's my RP. You don't have a right to tell me what I can't do. You're right, but not in this guild.
Man. I hate
we
that
are
line.
a lore-driven guild. If you want to play that way, go into a different one.
You're right. We don't. So get out. because here we're gonna have to, because that's butt stupid.
Yeah.
You're a butt
Bye,
stupid.
Felicia. Keep going. Yeah. The last but not least, before we get to the first one, which was horrible one.
Right.
Was the chick who said she was the daughter of Mayong, who, if you're not familiar with, too, that is the oldest, nastiest vampire in the game, and he's only been around for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
And she was his daughter, who, by the way, he wasn't really a vampire, but he was a demigod. Anyway, she was his daughter. She was pregnant with a vampire baby, but she wasn't a vampire.
So when you told her that's stupid, how'd that go?
I was like, okay, first of all, blood doesn't, how do I explain this? And it turned into, no lie, 3 weeks of drama from this one situation while she explained and her friends explained, and she was 6 people in her group and they all left at once. And that, in EQ2, that turns into like 12 people leaving the guild or so, because multiple tunes.
Right.
This boils down to, I don't like you anymore. I'm taking my friends and we're not playing with you anymore.
I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
It's so dumb.
But it's okay. I'm gonna be horrible. But
when this happens, it doesn't just stop there, because they go to another guild and they start drama there against you. So we were always trying to manage the situation so that it didn't turn into that.
Right, not to be a terrible person, but I'm going to be. It's like when you hear about a murder-suicide. The first thing I think is, why couldn't you have done that in reverse order?
Yeah. Seriously.
Because they don't just leave and then, and then, no, before they leave, they have to make sure everybody knows that they're leaving and why, and how right and righteous they are, and virtue signal their virtue, and put the bat virtue signal goes up into the sky, and Virtue Man comes in with his I can only assume skinny jeans tied around his crotch, and what's the scarf flowing in the wind, because of course he has one, and finely manicured beard, but also with a haircut where the sides are shaved, but there's that long patch down the middle, and then he has to come in and be like, but you were wrong and mistaken, and I have to tell you why. And then I'm going to take my ball and go home. But then I'm going to tell everybody else in my new guild why you were wrong.
Yeah, and it's
Virtue Man.
All of these didn't just stop with them leaving the guild. I had to deal with it in their next guild, and people bringing it into RP that we had done X, Y, and Z person. It was always a mess. These turned into, these drama llamas didn't just stop when they left our guild. They continued to be drama after they left.
They continued with the drama and the llama.
We were always trying to manage it before they left, so that it was over and they were not unhappy, but not happy, but not unhappy when they finally just left. And that didn't happen very often.
I'm not happy, but I'm not unhappy. So you're dead? I'm just saying, I don't know that I've ever been either or. I mean, I've been unconscious.
We've had people like the situation where in this guild where we had somebody who was very unhappy and we had this big explosion of drama. But when they left quietly. And as far as I know, they haven't really caused any problems in the community at large. They're just off role playing by themselves in their own little guild and they're happy. But they weren't happy with us. And so even though it was initially drama, once we handled it and they left, there was no more drama, and that's kind of our goal.
Right. No more drama is always the goal, Jazz.
Yes.
That's the goal.
So,
I want that on a plaque. No more drama is the goal.
No more drama.
Maybe that's another sticker we should have.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when you have drama, you're always...
Oh.
Did we lose her?
Oh, no.
There you are.
There you are.
You gonna make it for your last one here?
Yep, the last one. The
All
kiss
right.
on the cheek that turned into rape.
You heard that,
Lord.
right?
What?
Okay. There was a situation where a gentleman was attracted to this girl in a bar in our guild hall.
Fun fact. This is why Rengots didn't let anyone touch him. Period.
Fun
Go
fact.
ahead. Sorry, Jazz.
Fun fact. This is why I don't let anyone touch me.
Hey, that's because you're a pro, bro.
That and the way I look.
And I was not there for the initial situation, which happened a lot. I was doing other things, and I heard over the guild chat that it had turned into a problem. And one of the officers was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to explain it on officers chat. You need to come down here. You're never going to believe that." So I was like, "Oh, that sounds fantastic." So because we had recently, we had a bunch of drama, and we had decided that we had decided and figured out that if we handled it IC, there was usually less drama.
Right.
So rather than handling it OOC, we simply handled it IC, and that did seem to help quite a bit with the drama over the years.
To a point.
To a point. But this was that one that whenever somebody says, "Tell me about," this one is the number one.
That point, of
winner.
course, being on the top of their head.
Yeah. So I go downstairs and I realize that there's a crowd of people down there and everybody's upset, IC and OOC, because he walked up to this girl that he liked and he kissed her on the cheek. And he didn't say attempted.
Right.
He just said
kissed. He said kiss, not
Yeah, no, he just gave her a peck on the cheek.
He didn't Zoidberg her face.
No. He just kissed her on the cheek. He said he leans over because he was standing next to her. He leans over and kisses her on her cheek. And she was demanding that he be put into, when people were bad, they got thrown in a jail cell. She was insisting that he be put into a jail cell for rape because he forcibly kissed her. Now, granted, it was on the cheek. It wasn't even on the lips. It was on the cheek.
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
And unfortunately for the situation, and nobody really warned prior, and I really wish they had because they knew this was coming before I did. I tried to handle it IC. Now, unfortunately for a lot of people, Vaca was not a nice person. And one of the things that she would do, and I hate to say this in this Me Too place, because it's
I'm
really
sorry, I'm
bad.
I'm laughing at the reactions from this in the chat.
It was. Oh, I gotta go look now.
Yeah. No, keep going. They'll still be there. It's
And, you bet. So Vaca was just like, "That's not rape. If you'd like rape, I can have somebody take you downstairs and show you." Now, this was because, and apparently this was a sore spot with this particular person because she knew that Vaca had done this in the past. When somebody pissed her off like bad, a gentleman threw himself on this girl, held her down, and was trying to have his way. He was caught. He was stopped. The person was upset because he god-modded most of it, and she was really upset about it for obvious reasons.
Right. Yeah.
He got sent down into the basement, which is where our prison was.
And funny enough, where we keep all the broomsticks.
And Vaca had Gormal and two ogre brothers entertain him for several weeks.
I'm going to assume sock puppets.
Yeah, right.
You can fill in what's in the sock.
I mean, he's actually in the area. I can go get an answer if you want me to. Did someone call Gormal? Oh, yes.
He deleted his character and refused the consequences, but we just basically said, still down there.
Gormal, remember this guy? You know, he does funny things and thinks he gets away with it. Then the boss gives him to me. We do better things to him.
It was awful. So anyway, the point being, Vaca is a terrible. And so she simply said, if you need to understand what rape really is, I'll be glad to demonstrate it. And she didn't take that very well.
Well, really, the person that thought a kiss on the cheek was...
Yeah, in retrospect, I probably should have taken a different course of action.
Well, beer goggles are 2020.
Hashtag Jazz did nothing wrong.
Right.
Tilder sends me a tell and goes, dude, that is not going to help. And
yeah.
It didn't.
There's certain things... That's what I said. When you deal with things in character, it worked well.
Until
most of the time. Yeah.
And in this sense, it didn't. And actually, she never left the guild. We ended up working it out, and she actually eventually became an officer. So she kind of got over it. She realized that she told me later, she apologized. She was like, that was way off the and she had reasons, and I understood those reasons,
right?
But
And I get
it was a complete ridiculous drama moment
over
that came from something that was so blasé. The guy that kissed her on the cheek left the guild immediately.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're
yeah, he was a new RPer
and probably mortified that's how that went.
He was absolutely mortified. It took us 2 months to get him to rejoin, and he made another character. He didn't come back on that current character. He came back on a different character, and actually was in the guild for years after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a kiss on the cheek turned into 3 weeks of unbending drama, largely because my tune.
Right.
But yeah, that was my big one, right?
Yeah, that's the one that everyone's like, really, and I get it. People have the victims,
she had
survivors of
issue,
right, but
nevertheless,
but at the same time, and that's one thing people have to realize when they're, is these stories now are hilarious, obviously, and honestly, as the cynical and where I am in my life now, they're funny in the moment too, but. At the time, people, you really are, like the guy, accusing somebody of something like that over something as simple as an actual typed out kiss. It wasn't a real kiss. It was just typed out, and then claiming that stuff. And it always bleeds from in character to OOC. It could mess people up. And, it's as funny as it is, it's not cool to. You gotta keep your, try to keep your shit together. And trust me, I've had plenty of moments where I get pissed off, and I'm gonna go into that. I'll be honest, that's never gonna be one of them. So it's just, I just don't get why people want to do that. So. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on, with the Me Too movement and things like that. We never make fun. We're not making fun of victims or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is, there are people out there that make it seem ridiculous. What pisses me off about it is it hurts the people that actually have had it to it. That have gone through it. Yeah. Right.
And that's kind of how we ended up getting to back down, was that I got in a voice chat with her, which, as back then was not something I did very often.
And not easy.
I hated it. But I was like, okay, we need to have a voice conversation here. And it was just her and me, because I didn't let the officers come in. I said, okay, we need to talk, because this is getting ridiculous. And you have been in our guild for 2 years. Where is this coming from? And she told me, she accused me of not understanding. So I filled her in on my life. And then she was like, I didn't know that. And I was like, you're right. You didn't know that. And Vodka is not me.
Right.
And
which is why you gotta be careful
this is not
with that
modern
stuff.
life.
Yeah.
This isn't modern life. This is a game where these kinds of things happen all the time. And you need to understand that. And I'm sorry that it upset you. And I'm sorry that, and she actually was the one that got him to come back to the guild. She went and she apologized and said,
right.
I'm
Which
sorry,
good.
I reacted. Please come back. I overreacted. So it doesn't have to be and that's why I listed it actually initially first, was because while it was the most memorable moment for me, it was also the one with the more positive ending, because we as adults talked it out and worked it out.
Which is a rarity, yeah.
Which is rare. So it was a double whammy of amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, before I get into mine real quick, and then we get to the last bit here, let's go to our call lines, where our moderator Yunfei had something to add to that. Hey, Yunfei.
Hey, I don't know if this counts because it didn't happen directly to me, but I watched it happen for the better part of 15 years, I think. So there was this person who was in several of the guilds that I was in. I will call them the Great Vagina.
I wonder where this story's going.
This person, like, roleplay wise, they seemed relatively normal until you started to get to know their characters and then realized that it was not always all in character. There's a lot of crossover.
Right.
And this person must have gone through, I don't even know how many men amongst these guilds, just leaving drama in their wake. Like, it just amazed me, and everyone knew about it. It's not like it was a big secret, but for some reason, the dicks kept getting whipped out, and I don't know.
She was like a vaginal tsunami, just leaving destruction in her wake as she washed ashore. Is that?
No, more like a tornado, because they kind of. Well,
she would just pound them really quickly and leave destruction in her wake, then go back up, and then come down harder and pound them again.
Everyone got sucked up in it, and like it crossed over into real life too, and it just my gosh, like RP drama is one thing, but RP drama on top of
ERP drama, yeah.
Oh goodness,
yeah. Which, by the way, 6 episodes away from.
That's a lot of mixing going on.
That is a lot of mixing,
and not the good kind.
No, there's no cake batter coming out of that. At least none that you want to put in your mouth.
Oh God, no.
And to my knowledge, she is still doing it to this day.
Well, yeah, it's they
never
typically
stops.
don't
People
stop.
like that never stop.
Yeah, can't stop, won't stop. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a rough one, Uni. And yeah, to this day, they still hear her touching down and banging randomly and leaving destruction in her wake. Right now, she's over the Great Plains of Africa, where the rains are blessed. That was Ronar.
But bro, I'm just rains down in Africa.
That's what I've heard. That is the rumor. Yeah. Who would have thought that little dog from Wizard of Oz would have sung such a great song? I'm just saying, it's amazing. But no, well, appreciate you telling the story, Yudfei. Was that the one? That's the big one. Making sure
that was the big one, yeah. And like I said, it didn't directly happen to me.
Well, I mean, to tell a story, it doesn't have to happen to you. I can tell you lots of stories that happen to people around me, so it works for me. I'm not gonna say no.
Well, the one that happened directly to me was, God, I don't know if I should just like name the guild or not, but
yeah, you just tell the story.
You were there because I think I followed you out to Silver Circle. But yeah, I was role playing. I think I was exploring bullying, and the guild that I was in flipped their burgers.
Flip their burgers. Yes, I love that line.
And like, I had no idea it was going to cause that much drama. And
we know what's going to go on her sticker.
Bad.
Yeah. Flip their burgers. That's right. But yeah, it is, you know, like I said, it's funny now, you know, looking back on it, and you know, it's kind of sad actually. It's sad funny, like, that was funny. But you know, at the time, it can be kind of not to use the person that's you know, the great vagina, but rub people the wrong way. You know, so. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Uni, and telling the story for us, but go ahead and get to the rest of this here.
Thank you, Unifei.
And thanks for doing a great job in the chat.
Yep.
Even with that Calico guy in there. I'd watch out for him, by the way. Keep an eye on him.
I heard he's like all different colors.
Yeah, like 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you have a good night, Yudfei. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, talk to you later.
Bye.
Later.
All right, so let's see. I'll go to my list here real quick. The one I think I've mentioned it before. People that become healing Hitlers. I honestly don't know why this is, and it is, and it has happened in more than one guild and more than one game. But for some reason, it seems like 99% of the people that get put in charge of a clinic or a healing center or any place like that, any head healer thing, they turn into like they think they're fucking Dr. Crusher from the Enterprise and can override any and all commands from anybody around them and do what they want. You know, just because, like, I guess being the healer of the guild gives them the ability to push everybody around them around. I don't know where this comes from, and if you don't respect their authority, God help you. they're gonna let you know about it. Usually OOC first and in the guild.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over and over
I always
again.
ignore their requests and watch them explode.
Yeah, it's
Jazz's great angst in the past.
Yeah, and I've never understood it, but it
happened every single time we had a healer.
Yeah, any head healer, anybody put in charge of a clinic or an infirmary, you know, it's happened in multiple guilds, not just Jazz's guilds either. It's just, I don't know what it is. People, it's just like, I'm the healer.
I have the power.
Yeah, they're like, Ich bin Stein Healingstone. I know. You didn't know I knew how to speak German, and neither did I. So, the other one, let's see, another one here. People that cannot stand to lose a duel. Whether it's a mechanical duel or a roll duel, whatever. And don't get me wrong, I hate losing duels too. Because funny enough, I would rather win something than lose at something.
What?
Right? You know, who would have thought that I would prefer to win something like that? But you know, and I've had moments of annoyance. You know, especially like not so much with the rolls. Like if I go into a roll duel, an RP duel, I go in prepared to lose. If it's like a mechanic duel, I'm gonna fucking win. So I have had a few times where I got really annoyed, like because the inevitable, especially in EQ, there was always just the lag was just random. Or there's been a few times it's like, oh look, my button stopped working. Could I have a redo? And that, you know. But with dice, you had a 50-50 chance of losing. Why are you getting so angry? Calm down. Don't blow up in the guild chat. I mean, we get it. Your character's a badass. But you know what? So's the other person. So you'll be all right. Okay, I'm going to read. This one's not from me, but I'm going to read Calico in the chat. He says he has one for us. Okay, this happened to me. Me being Calico. I made a new high elf for ESO, and it was his first visit to the guild hall. I know a few people here were here for this. I had 2 people who were the ones bitching and crying about flirting and anything even remotely sexual happening in front of them, but they had no problem with flirting and hitting on my new Altmer. Now again, these are the same exact people who did all they could to get rid of anything remotely sexual because it made them uncomfortable. But the double standard, you know, that's okay. As long as I'm doing it, it's okay. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's called being a jackass. Don't do that. But yeah, that's the double standard people. There's typically, sorry, I gotta adjust my butt. It's falling asleep. Typically, where a lot of that stuff comes from too. Let's see here. When someone's RP is so far out there and you don't take it seriously. For some reason, that's a trigger for some people. I don't know why. No, not really sure. No, I know you wanted to be 2 halflings on top of each other, dressed as a Khajiit in a fursuit, but that's fucking stupid.
How dare you tell me what I can and cannot roleplay?
Well, I'm pretty sure I just dared, because that's fucking stupid. Yeah, so... and, alright, so in another thing here, something that has caused an ungodly amount of drama and drama llamas to come just pouring out of the woodwork like, you know, water in a sponge. And it happens to me a lot. Obviously, anybody, I don't know if you've noticed, I've got a very sick and twisted sense of humor. You may have noticed it.
What?
Now and again. No, I know. I hide it typically better than most. But I've been, because of the jokes, like, we've done a few dead baby jokes, a few rape jokes tonight. None of which is actually something that you should joke about, perhaps, but that's exactly why I think you have to joke about it. You know, Nazis, make fun of Nazis all the time. Nazis are terrible. Still have to make fun of them. Sorry. Everybody gets made fun of equally. Because of this, I've been accused of being, an LGBT-ophobe. At this point, it's just pick a letter of the LGBT, and I've been accused of being.
See, the irony is you're not afraid of those. That's just the freaking tagline.
Right. But I've been accused of hating every single one in that group, honestly. It's probably not entirely untrue because I'm sure there's, as long as they're stupid, I'll hate them. I don't care what group you're in or what color you are. If you're an idiot, I don't need you to be something else to be not liked by me. A sexist, I've gotten that one a lot, sometimes from Jazz. A rape apologist, that was...
Yeah, but I'm mostly kidding, so...
A misogynist, also Jazz.
You're just going to go on the Jazz list, aren't you?
Well, like I said, I'm pretty sure she's kidding most of the time.
What have you not been called? Let's go there. Okay? That's a much shorter list.
The silence is deafening.
A dog hater? I've never been called a dog hater. There you go. I like dogs.
Dogs are the best, though, man.
Yeah, but you still make fun of him.
Well, yeah, because he's a fat little sausage. If I cooked our dog right now, he would be one of those overstuffed hot dogs that would pop out of the skin. I'm just saying, he's a little fatty. So yeah,
so cute.
Because of the way I talk and stuff like that, I've caused all number of OOC drama from people that just can't, take a joke at all, and because that's their trigger issue or this or that. That being the other one, politics. Been down this one a lot. I don't stay quiet if someone brings up something I disagree with, typically, which is why I don't go out of my way. And I don't cuss them out. I don't tell them that they're a moron, even if I might sometimes think it. I like talking politics. Ask Jazz. Her and I have had some pretty interesting conversations. I've talked with Sib, of course, and Strafe. I like talking politics. I actually did. I would talk about it with anybody, even people that don't agree with me. To the point of this week, I think Jazz, I was called a "go fuck yourself" how many times by that one guy? Yeah, I didn't insult him, and trust me, I wanted to, but I would rather.
And I did tell him.
You did. Off. You did, and I wasn't. I've learned. I trust me. I want to, and it causes a lot of drama. But and I've been called things just because like somebody that says something like a simple response, but someone will say a comment that they say it with 100% assurity, like everyone believes that insert whatever side of their argument. I'm like, and I can set them off with a simple, well, not everybody believes that. And that's when you get called a gray shirt, which is still funny to me because he meant a brown shirt but wasn't intelligent.
Hey, that's my line. That's an Imperial officer.
Yeah,
right there.
I was gonna say, that's the Imperials. But so
the Empire did nothing wrong. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just because I didn't agree with their political viewpoints, and that caused drama for everybody. Which is fine. I mean, I just I can do without the insults. I don't always do it. I try not to insult people back. I'm trying to be a better person, at least in that vein when it comes to talking to people. I don't always work out, but it causes drama. And it happens. So it's it's honestly, it's part of why I've started to avoid the voice chat as much as I do, because a lot of times when that stuff happens, it's people speaking with assurity and confidence that their view is the only view that could possibly be, and everybody else that doesn't think it hates them. And all I could say is, well, not everybody thinks that. And then I've started something for Jazz to have to clean up later.
Oh, very good.
Yes. Hey, Kishmas, welcome.
Thank you. Speaking of drama,
right?
Actually, this, my buddy's, him is Golvin.
Oh yeah.
The guy who used to play Naval.
Yeah, he's actually he just became a wardinator earlier, like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
but he told me that in zone chat that he said hippity hoppity, Argonians are Dunmer property, and 3 people called him racist.
Oh no!
What?
Like, really? I mean, come on, man. It's true.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not racist if it's true. Am I right?
I mean, listen, it is a fact in ESO that the Argonians are Dunmer property. It is what it is.
Yeah. That of course that would happen. God, and see that like I said. Now I wish there was a special snowflake symbol to put in chat as well inside games, and you could put it right next to their name. But yeah, I've caused a lot of drama with that. The other thing, I'll get into my own drama. One thing I know I've caused I've caused it for myself and caused it for others around me is I have a really hard time letting someone have the last word.
Oh
no!
My god!
Right, I know.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Holy crap! Are you kidding?
It's a personal flaw. I'm working on it. Fuck you.
So no wonder Carvin.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little after it's supposed to happen.
Right. Yeah. That's a little. That's actually more just because I think it's funny. But yeah. But I do tend when things get going to have a hard time letting somebody, especially somebody I'm thinking is an idiot, get the last word in. And I'm pretty good at sniping at people. I'm not bad at it. Or if I'm tired, holding back my sarcasm. It's a second language. I'm really good at sarcasm. I love it. It's I'm told it's either the language of idiots or the language of geniuses, because it's funny, it's quoted as being both. Mm-hmm. Have you ever noticed that? So
yeah, a little.
Yeah, it's created more than a few of my own little drama llama moments, because I don't often help de-escalate it when I'm like, oh yeah, because I'm fairly decent at pushing people's buttons. I can do that.
Really? I
very,
could never
very
have
well.
guessed that. That is just amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to not want to give into that schoolyard brawl of, oh yeah, you're ugly. Oh yeah, your face.
Yeah, my dad could beat up your dad. And
really,
I do it a lot in guild chat.
Yeah,
but no one ever comes after me for it. It's like, come on, give me something to do.
It's because you're intimidating. Now me,
How?
I don't care. I don't know.
How am I?
I think you're a giant wimp. I mean, if you
I am.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so that's as personal. My own personal flaws would go for creating drama. I would say it's my ability to. I have a hard time taking a quick step back and de-escalating something instead of letting my mouth go where it must. Yeah.
Do tell, sir.
Well, it all happens when Kishmas goes next.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're
right.
Yep, your turn, bud.
Okay, let me find it.
Okay. Well, we'll do
Kishmas.
Well, while he's bringing that up, we'll go to the next the part, which is and then we'll go back to you. What can you do to prevent the drama llamas? The first thing is you have to identify them. Sometimes you can see them talking with others, and you can in guild chat and get a general sense. But if they have constant outbursts in either guild chat or these days also Discord is another good place on a continual basis, somebody that has, I've had bad days. I don't typically go out of my way to do it every week. But I've had my times. We all have bad days where, Jazz, I know she's had days where it's like, I shouldn't have logged in I shouldn't have logged in today.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have logged in.
It was a bad day. I should have stayed the fuck out of here. We have that. It happens every now and then. Anybody that doesn't have one of those, you're lying to yourself. Sorry. We all have bad days. But if it happens on a consistent and almost scientifically observable basis, that probably person is something that you need to identify. And a lot of times the drama llama stuff will come about as, they'll start going back and forth with somebody else that they just wronged or they see has wronged them, and it's just an ongoing shit fest. So that's a good way to identify them.
I don't think this person likes me.
Yeah, that was one Sib had.
That's why they're causing trouble for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even care about you.
Yeah.
I haven't given you a second thought.
No. That's one of the greatest lines out of Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged. You don't think very much of me, do you, sir? No, I don't think of you at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I loved Henry Reardon. You're the man. That's right. You baked that blue steel. All right, Kishmas, did you bring it up?
I had it up for like 5 minutes.
You know what? I don't need your fucking sarcasm. You're 2 hours late because I have a job. Ugh.
Yeah.
You're
I
gonna
would
get
throw
punched
something,
one
but
day.
I got nothing to throw.
I'm trying.
One day I'm going to quit that job and make this my full-time job.
Yeah, you do
Well,
know this.
remember-
You only know this only pays in like one sticker so far, right?
So? I like to get paid in stickers.
The minute you
I
slip
like
up, you gotta go
stickers.
talk to the boss. He makes you move your box.
Yeah.
Actually,
Where
no.
do you stick those stickers?
You can roll them up, and I'll tell you where to put them. So anyway, Kishmas.
Yeah.
All right. So what'd you have, Kishmas?
So this was a long time ago. DC, I was in a Noble House Guild, and one night after an event, we went to this tavern. I probably.
Uh-oh.
You there,
Well,
Kishmas?
they finally caught up with him. Halfway.
Oh.
I'm here. I'm here.
Did your
I
finger
forgot
slip?
I had push talk.
Yeah.
Good
Oh
time.
boy.
But it was in it was in crap, where is it? It was in the Windkeep, the tavern that's there.
Oh, okay.
And there was some
Yeah.
RP going on there. So me and the boys, we went to go RP there, for some R&R. And when we went there, they all looked at us, started being snarky and like, "Oh, you're not allowed here." Like, okay, let's finish this up and then we'll leave. Well, they already called their vampire guild buddies over to, cause some drama. Next thing you know, we're surrounded and like, "Oh, you can't leave because we blocked the door." And I'm sitting here, I'm like, "Dude, you know this is metagaming, right? You called backup when we just started RPing. Why are you doing this?" It's like, "Well, you think you're going to attack us?" No, we're here because we want to RP. We want to maybe RP with you guys, but now we don't want to RP with you guys, so let us leave. "Well, you're not going to leave because then that would be god modding." Really? So you're going to tell me that you metagamed and you're not going to let us god mod our way out? Oh, please.
We're gonna have to god mod out of your god mod, and then you're gonna accuse us of god modding. Is that I have the right of this? Get the fuck out of my way, vampire boy.
See, I could write a book about how many times this has happened in DC. The next one that happened that's very clear to me is that my Nord, whose name I forget because I deleted him, was being hunted down by vampires because he killed one of their vampire mothers or whatever they're called, brood mother. I don't know. I'm not into vampire lore.
My sire.
Bunch of fang faces, man.
Fang
faces. Fang faces. But
they
were hunting me down,
stereotypical.
quote unquote. And I was doing a pretty good job by literally staying in one place. And that's the tavern in
hilarious.
Daggerfall. And like, "Well, we can't find you, but our trackers are the best trackers, so tell us where you are." I'm like, "No, you're going to find me fair and square." Now, I should note that the Vampire Guild leader was on my friends list. And I logged on every day. So you're going to tell me, "Oh, we can't find you. This is so unfair." No, you're just dumb.
Yeah.
There was another incident where it was in Coghlan. That used to be a pretty big RP hub in Daggerfall. That was drama every night. It was like worse than the Withered Tree.
Wow,
It was like
that's saying
10
something.
times worse. And it was all Bosmer Khajiit. Oh, I wonder where they moved to. But
Actually, I know where they moved to, but keep going.
there's just a lot of things that went wrong in my tenure in DC. I completely do not regret moving to EP at all. EP has its flaws, but nothing is worse than DC RP. Let me be honest.
That's saying something when the Dark Elf area has less drama than any of the others. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's usually where
surprising.
that's usually where the shit hits the fan.
You're listen about me then, or listen about me now. Imagine me back then, which was, by the way, really, really much worse.
There's a more trollier version of the Kishmas.
Oh yes.
Younger
yes.
Kishmas.
I think we got
younger Kishmas.
Ashton, we got cheated out of this trollery.
I think so too.
Wink wonk. Younger. But anyway, drama is always going to be a part of my characters and me. I may not start it all the time, but it's definitely attracted to me because who my main character is, how he interacts with the world, interacts with people, interacts with Enwa. Remove, but anyway,
subtle,
very subtle. He's an asshole. He's stubborn. He's a hypocrite. He's all the things that you would see and not like in real life, and that's who he is in character. And I really hate it when people call him out in public and say, "Well, why is he being such an asshole? I only did this and this and this." I'm like, well, first of all, it's the character, not me.
Right.
I am kind of different, mostly different behind the keyboard.
50% different.
50%.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit at all. Richard doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit about authority. Doesn't give a shit about, house lords. Oh, I have 50 slaves. Congratulations. You still have slaves and they're Enwa.
Right.
They should be removed. Work, you lazy asshole. That's just his demeanor.
Right.
And then I get messages from, other officers saying, "Well, I've got a complaint about you." I'm like, "Oh, really? What happened? Did I say something in guild chat?" "No, Regier did this." I'm like, "Well,
that's not a complaint." Yeah,
that's not a complaint. That's a whine. He's whining about something I did. I see.
Yeah,
so
you got to bring it up. I see.
Yeah, and honestly, if you don't talk to me directly, I'm just gonna perceive you as a big fat pussy. Honestly.
That's the Regier we know and love.
There you go. Yeah. That would be the other 50%.
Yeah. I mean, don't start where you can't finish.
Right.
In other words, you're playing Ringots, and I'm so glad you're doing it. I got tired of doing it, man.
Yeah, but he's lawful evil.
True. You're right. Ren was freaking chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's funny because the temple sees themselves as lawful good, but the other people see him as lawful evil. It's kind of weird. It's kind of fun.
Well, yeah, because that's just the dichotomy of, viewpoints and,
And the culture.
Yeah, the cultures.
Cultural appropriation.
You've acculturated the Dunmer culturation.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama llamas out there. There's a lot of drama llamas in the guild now. You know who you are. Fuck you. And have a nice day.
Well said, sir.
Very well said. And that's why we wish Kishmits could be around more. Because he speaks it like it is. And he knows all about the fluoride in the water turning the frogs gay.
Tell it like it is.
They're demons.
Right. So, all right. Well, we'll start wrapping this up, but really, real quick, we got the how to deal with drama llamas. The stories are fun, and I actually enjoyed a lot of those. Especially, I've learned a lot of things about kissing. But so identifying him is the first step. I think somebody, where was that in there? Azure said, for me, it's the person causing drama not once or twice, but, going on the 9th, 10th, or 11th time is too much. To
me, one and done.
Right. Well, like I was saying earlier, everybody has their bad days. So once every now and then, it's not a big deal. But if it's multiple times a month, you're really pushing it. But what Calico had said is when you see someone enter the guild hall and your immediate reaction is, "God, I'd rather belt sounder my, it's probably time to give him a boot." And no, Calico, I don't know what you were referring to. Why don't you explain that in the chat and see if it gets through? So the other part after you identify them is to understand. Try to understand it. Why do they do it? A lot of times, it's because they're privileged pieces of shit. They can be, and I'm not gonna be. This isn't gonna go real well for a lot of people. Spoiled brats. I've had a lot of problems with some of the LGBT people, not the normal ones like Jazz, and it's the militant people that are just really, really angry
and
about
if it makes
everything.
you feel any better, they don't like me either.
Right, they hate you too. Race is another one. I've been accused of things like that just because I don't know, because they're
You're
just
not wrong,
whatever.
Ashton, because a lot of these times these people really have never really dealt with true adversity. Like
Yeah.
they think they have, but they haven't.
Yeah.
They don't really understand what eating.
And that is accurate
Like,
because a lot of the LGBT people that I know that are very outspoken but are not like that are people who have suffered much of the same treatment I have growing up. So I think that makes a difference. Like he said, if you've never really had adversity except for somebody saying, I don't like gay people, I feel sorry for you because, there's so many things that are so much worse.
Right, and that's why I'm saying it's really all of this fits under the same category of spoiled brat. It's nobody. One of the things I learned, like I've said, we've talked about it in the politics. I wasn't a big Obama fan, but because of that, 8 years of him, for my beliefs were constantly, and I'm always being pushed up against a wall based off of what I believe in, and because of that, I have, that's why
Not by me. Not by me.
No, she pushed me up against the wall for other reasons.
That is what she said.
Ooh.
But like the conversations Jazz and I have had over the years, we're polar opposite. But it has always made me every time she says something, it makes me think. I have to double check what I believe to make sure if that still holds true, or if there's new information given to you. You need to incorporate that. Like, what was the one thing I've heard about recently was McCarthyism. Everyone, it's McCarthyism. Yeah, you know what? There's some stuff out there. He wasn't actually wrong. There were communists infiltrating the government. Now, his way about going about it was really, really bad, but he wasn't actually wrong, and he did what he thought was going right. Now, I don't excuse all the other stuff he did. Same thing like we've talked about with Gandhi and not Martin Luther King. What was it? Churchill. The good guy. Good guys that have done bad things, that have done great things, and also were bad people. It happens. Nobody's perfect. But when you're never pushed up against the wall because you're a privileged, spoiled brat in a first world country, and you think everybody has to go to your way of thinking, and if they don't believe exactly like you do, they're racist, fascist, bigoted homophobes, or they're ignorant, stupid, uneducated morons, doesn't matter. You can't do that. And typically, if you don't understand that, you're going to have a hard time understanding them. So if you come at it from trying to figure out where somebody's coming at with all this drama, it will help you know the person, so it's not such a big deal. One of the stories I could tell from my kids was when I first got with Sib, and we had a bad snowstorm. Okay, and because I'm lazy and we use the garage, I didn't shovel the sidewalk. All right, so our daughter tells me as they're coming home that their real dad, when he dropped them off, was griping about me, like, doesn't shovel the goddamn sidewalk. And he said you were lazy, and I was like, let me ask you this, sweetie. Did your dad shovel his sidewalk at his house? No. There you go. Look where something comes from before you really get upset about it, because we're both lazy assholes. It's and the snow's gonna melt in a day. It's Oklahoma, not fucking Minnesota. It's not a big deal, But it's a learning moment. If you could understand where someone's coming from, lazy. We know our own, but you can understand that, and it will take. It takes the steam. If you can understand where someone's coming from, it takes the, okay, I don't, you have to look at the source before you bother getting upset. If the source isn't worth a shit, it's like that saying I say, I've been called worse by better,
Yeah, that's the same.
Look where the insult's coming from before you get all upset about it. And lastly, how to deal with it. Usually it's informing leadership is a good way. I mean, I'll be honest, usually we already are fully well aware. We've seen it. Jazz. typically when someone brings it to you, have you ever not already been like,
Yep.
well, didn't see this one coming.
I've had that conversation with people. Said, thank you for telling me, but we're already aware, and we're trying to handle it right now. Please be patient while we deal with this person so that it doesn't. And
and then you go to the officers with, all right, we've got another complaint.
Yeah. And the thing is, and I probably am a little annoyed by this, which is why I'm going to say this, but these people who say the minute that they do something wrong, you should kick them out, have never had to deal with what happens when that's done.
Yeah, and I joke about that, but I also, and sometimes, depending on the people, I'm actually dead serious. Other times, it's just because it would be so much nicer if we could do that without the consequences that come along with that, because that goes to your reputation in the RP community.
Yes, it does. It leads to that. It causes a problem. It causes, them talking with other guilds who talk to other guilds who talk to other guilds in a community that's usually fairly tight-knit. It's no different than when a raid guild screws somebody over and kicks them out. Then there's blowback from that.
Yeah.
And any raid guild that's been around for more than 5 years will tell you that. And I've had raid leaders jump into my defense because they've been like, no, see, if you do that, this is what happens.
You've got rules set up to pass your loot out a certain way, but, well, so-and-so really needs this more than you do, and they're my friends, so we're going to go ahead and skip you this time and give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You follow the rules, or you're gonna. It's the same thing with. I get it. It would be so much easier sometimes just to do that, but it's the same reason we can only reach so many people here at the show, because there's roleplay communities are they're typically smaller. Not everybody listens to podcasts. Not everybody appreciates our sense of humor either, which is okay. You don't have to, but there's only so many people in the community, and when you burn all the bridges in there, you're left what happened in EQ2. Well, I mean, EQ2 is because it burned out, but you're just left there, playing with yourself, in your small group of friends, which becomes incestuous roleplay, as we've said before. So like I said, you bring it to leadership. Most of the time, they'll know and they'll be dealing with it. But the thing is, even if they might be aware of it, like if they even came in and said, all right, guys, enough is enough. You make sure if they weren't there from the beginning, or you feel like you need to, you take it to them personally and tell them your side of the story, and depending on how it goes, the more instances they have of it, the better it makes for officers and leadership to build, basically it's the same thing you do in a court of law. You have to build the case. You have to have instances of it.
Yep. We had to, and it was simpler. I always told people that one of the best things that ever happened to me was running a guild in the sense of business, because I learned more about running a business, running a guild, than I probably ever. And I have even, this is funny, I was told I could never use it, right? But when I got hired on in my social worker position right now, they asked me, have you ever done X, Y, and Z? And I laughed. And he was like, no. And I said, I can't tell you. He says, no, really, you can. Tell me, why did you laugh? And I ran a guild for 10 years, a roleplay guild.
Uh-huh.
And he laughed, and he goes, that certainly qualifies you to know here.
You got the one gamer guy interviewing you
that
understood that.
I didn't know he was a gamer. But he was like, he knew I was, because when we were setting up the interview, he had said, come at this time, and I said, KK. And I had no idea that is
it's
marking
usually an
me.
online
I had no
thing.
idea.
Yeah.
And so he was like, how do you a gamer? So when I told him I was doing this, I actually got an edge over the other applicant because I had managed this situation.
Right.
And it actually helped. So to tell folks, keep that in mind. You may be able to use your experience.
Wow. Thanks, Jess.
You're welcome.
It's not gonna work for you, Kishmas.
Oh, I know it won't.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Ever.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna isolate myself.
Sad face.
Sad face. So the other thing is to deal with it is put them on a mental block, which is something a lot of people are pretty good at. I know I've gotten pretty good at just like glancing over somebody's name and then just skipping it. Avoiding them, which kind of goes hand in hand with the mental block. There's several people in every guild I've ever been in. It's like, well, I think you're an idiot, so I'm just gonna avoid you. I don't call it out. I don't let everyone know, like, I'm just going to have to, if like someone brings them up, I'll be like, well, honestly, I don't really know. I've been avoiding them for, I don't know, 8 months. So I really don't interact with them. I have no idea what they are like anymore. I just know that the first time I met them, they were assholes, and I moved on with my life. Another one is actually block them, which I'm for and against. Like, obviously, if you're an officer, you can't do that. But there's also times where people needlessly block people, and it's not cool, at times as well, because the person might just be an idiot, but they're not actually filled with drama, like in that way. But, And lastly, hope they leave. Yeah.
I have lots of hope.
And lastly, actually leave. What are you saying?
Keep hope alive, buddy.
I will say, if you are miserable and it doesn't get better, then leave. Because the only thing that can happen is things are going to get better for you.
Right.
Because
and not everybody fits into every guild. So.
Exactly. You can't expect other people to change their guild for you.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's best to just walk away.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've had to do it because I just don't want to deal.
Yeah,
with
you don't want to
drama.
deal with certain people involved, or the drama is just constantly out of hand. Then just step away.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've been a lot happier.
Yep.
Since I did.
Yeah. Yep. She's done that
and
recently.
and that's that's the important thing too. As I said before, with this recent thing, they're happier. We're happier. It wasn't a good fit. They moved on. Everything's good.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just the way it needs to be. And I don't have any hard feelings for people that left. I want people to have fun when they log in. And if you weren't having, there's the door. Bye, Felicia. Go do what you need to do. That's
Who's
totally
Felicia?
Your mom.
Actually, her name's Jill.
Oh. I'm sure she's a lovely woman.
Very lovely.
I have questioning in her ability to birth children, but I'm sure she's a lovely woman.
Oh, you're bad.
Man.
He doesn't have feelings. He's not old enough to have them yet.
I probably never will have feelings after what I've been doing.
See, he used to have the deep down cockles of his heart, but he had them surgically removed when he turned 18, so he doesn't have that anymore.
Yeah.
No more cockles.
He's got no more cockles. Not in that heart.
That's so many things I could say.
Cockles. So, all right. Well, anybody have any other things to say and add to this? Anything you thought of before we jump out of here?
Nope.
Just, if you're not having fun,
yeah. If the role play
walk
drama
away.
Llamas, yeah.
We do this to have fun. We do this. We don't do this as a second job. We don't do this. This is entertainment. So you want to just have fun. And if you're not having fun, you need to change something.
Yep.
Indeed. So, all right. Well, I guess with that, go ahead, remind everybody to, again, patreon.com/rpmmoradio. The $5 or more. $5 will get you a sticker, and the first time you join up, mentioned on I thank you on the show. $10 is the sticker, show mentioned, and access to the outliner notes, and the $20 raid boss level gets you all of that, and you'll be mentioned on the show as a special thank you every single time, every single episode. We will call your ass out in a good way. So appreciate everybody that takes a look at that, considers. I know everybody, if you're anything like us, you work hard for your money, so hard for your money.
Unless you're me, then you stand at a door for 8 hours saying hi, bye.
Well, okay, so everybody not Kishmas works hard for their money. But yeah, and if we appreciate you, considering us for a couple bucks of that. It's cool. We understand if you can't. Money can be tight. The rent is too damn high, as the party up in New York says.
The rent is too dang high.
He's fucking right, though. All right.
Well, yeah, you live in New York. It's ridiculous. Down here, you can get an apartment of 700 square feet for like $550. So
that's bullshit.
Yeah,
right?
And where you're at, that would cost you your firstborn
$1,200.
child. Yeah, easily.
That's the last apartment that I lived in. It was $1,200 a month.
Jeez.
Which is bullshit for the size. That's just New York for you.
Yeah. See, because the rent is too damn high, but the guy saying that is too damn creepy.
He has a nice beard, though.
He has a great beard, but he wears the white gloves and he's got that funky hat.
What is it?
He is a weird dude.
Pics or it isn't true?
Oh, I could find rents for the too damn
Dude,
high
it's a
guy.
popular meme. You
Yeah.
can find it anywhere.
Yeah, let's see.
Herman Cain.
No, I was talking about the beard.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, his beard is he's let's see. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Save it there. Okay. Just gonna just stop the whole show just to prove a point to Sib here. No, it's all right.
What are you putting up?
You thought I was this guy doesn't exist? Yeah.
What guy?
That guy right there.
Herman Cain.
And I put it in the wrong one. No, that's not Herman Cain. It's Jimmy McMillan.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Herman Cain is a totally different. Wow, black people look the same to you, huh, Kishmas? Huh?
Yes.
Is that what?
I mean, no.
Oh,
no.
Uh-huh.
Way to put me in a corner.
Yeah, no, that guy right there. There's a party called literally "The Rent Is Too Damn High" up in New York, and that dude right there in the black gloves and the amazing beard runs it. So
that is
Sometimes
one
crazy is
nice
right.
beard.
Yeah. So
what does it look like? Does it look like a butt?
to me, it looks like two white hairy balls, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
So basically, minus the sag.
Right.
Oh man.
All right. Well, let's start the music.
On that
here.
note.
On that fun note, if you haven't looked up the Rent Is Too Damn High guy, Google it. You will appreciate it. I don't think he's running for anything important like multiverse MMO president, but one day. So with that, again, lastly, rpmradio.com/Patreon. Appreciate everybody that tunes in there or gives there. Take a look, consider it. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Ashton Phoenix, and I want to give a special thanks to Jazz, Kishmas, Sib, and Strafe, of course, our call screener and moderators, Rahanar and Yunfei. And tune in next time while we draw and quarter halflings with a small team of drama llamas, each of which will then try to outdo the other on who got the biggest quarter. Next time on RPMMO Radio. Good night, everybody! The thoughts and opinions on RPMMO Radio are just that and should not be taken as the gospel truth, but pretty close to it. Music, as always, is provided by Husky by the Geek. Visit him at youtube.com/HuskyByTheGeek to hear all his great video game rock covers and original music.